High Plains Technology Center, turning education and training into workplace success.
Oh, back to school, to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
High Plains Technology Center, education at the speed of business. School is now in session.
Well, here we are Wednesday morning. Taylor Burnett sitting in with you, talking about all things High Plains Technology Center. Have two special guests. They're going to talk about what's upcoming, but I'll let them introduce themselves. Go ahead.
Dana Goss at the TAP program.
Sheldon Halderman, TAP instructor.
All right. And these two are just the gurus when it comes to all things. We wanted to really talk about the District Livestock Show that's coming up. But there's an event that's coming up on it as part of it as well. Did not used to be. I remember when it first started, Dana. When did it first start in our side?
7 years ago.
7 years ago.
At Woodward. 3 years ago at OIE.
3 years ago at OIE.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the amazing thing, because I'm going to tell you, I know there might be weather on Saturday in Woodward, but if anybody has an opportunity, go out there Saturday, because what are they going to see?
The Ag Mechanics Show, that's the big thing for us. If you haven't been out there and seen that, it is a pretty spectacular event. The students do a really good job, some amazing projects out there. We've got the younger kids, and we just last year was my first year, so I learned a lot, and we're coming back to compete this year.
It's because you've been married so long. You've learned from what you did wrong, and we might have been told by somebody. I don't know.
Takes a year to figure it out, and we're going to come back stronger this year. So.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So Sheldon's really being very humble when he says you'll see some amazing things, because we get told all the time, I worry about next generation, I worry about our youth, I worry about everything, and I say TAP's a perfect solution for it. But this Ag Mechanics Show, because there's also a lot of students that aren't in TAP as well, but the TAP kids shine. I'm just going to throw that out there. But it's these kids, and these are kid projects, kid-driven, kid-done, and it just blows me away. I mean, tell them about some of the cool things that you've seen over the years.
Well, I mean, it's just going to be amazing. There's 267 kids that's going to compete at the Ag Mechanics Show on Saturday, from every county, I think, that's in our district. Somebody is competing from lots of schools. It's a thing, and I mean, High Plains is my deal, and this District Livestock Show is my other deal, and the District Livestock Show.
Wait, you have other deals too.
Yeah,
Let's be honest. Goss Livestock.
No, we're not going to talk about that on the radio. But the Northwest District Livestock Show here in Woodward, by far, is the very best District Livestock Show in the state of Oklahoma, which will be captivated and culminated at OIE there in March during spring break. But our kids here in Northwest Oklahoma are, simply put, the very best individuals across the state in terms of leadership, in terms of driven, in terms of hard work, getting up every day and getting after it. And like Mr. Halderman said, these Ag Mechanics shows are impressive. And if you think you're going to win, then it's kind of like going to a livestock show. You might get beat, and you might have a very, very good project, because they are outstanding.
And it's not only what they build, because Sheldon, you also have to describe exactly what they've done and what they've built and what goes on with it as well, correct?
Yes, we've got the project. We start with the project in the classroom. We draw it out on paper. We come up with dimensions, get the materials list, and start from there. We tweak it along the way as we go. All of our projects are designs by either my design, Mr. Stone, something that somebody sent us a picture of, but we start there, and they tweak it as they go along the way. And
do you already have some that you're just like, holy cow, look at this thing, it's pretty impressive, some of the kids have done?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
because explain the different equipment that you have up there at TAP, because I don't think people even fully understand the capabilities that you have, what you can do there with the fabrication.
Oh, yeah. We've our students have access to the top of the line, plasma cutters, oxyacetylene torch. I mean, we teach them how to turn it on and run all of that type of stuff. A lot of their projects are done on MIG welders, but some of it is stick welding. And then all of our construction tools, carpentry
It's just pretty cool.
everything.
I mean, it's like an adult play. You know, we should have like a summer tap for adults. Is what we should do.
Yeah.
Just come in there and do.
That's
things.
what I tell people all the time. I go to work and I play with tools all day.
Yeah. I mean, it really. I mean, you know, I know in Las Vegas they have it to where you can get on the heavy equipment. You can rent that out and go and play in dirt. You know, as a man and or woman, and it'd be fun to just maybe do an adult thing.
Right.
There might be some scary projects come out of that, though. I don't know.
There
with that,
might
so.
be, yeah. You know, and I mean, really, if you think about all the things that goes into it, just like our kids have been building trusses, well, to learn how to build it right and correctly, they had to apply trigonometry.
Yeah.
You know, and so there's a lot
You're
of
stealing my
things
thunder.
that go.
You're so right.
You know, there's so many things that go into it. You know, we've powder coated some of the projects and the science that goes into powder coating, the magnetism, the current, all the things to make it cook correctly. All of those things are really just life skills. And you know, Mr. Kellen, you know, he's really the driver of
Yes, no question.
of the Ag Mechanics show here at Woodward. I mean, he is the reason that we have it. You know, and that is really an event that they have to have a really outstanding project, but they have to be able to talk the talk and walk the walk. And
I
if they
agree.
don't know what's going on with it, even if it's the best, they're not going to be the winner. And so really, if you don't talk about employability, putting kids to work, being able to think on their feet and answer questions, it's a fantastic way to make a kid grow within themselves.
And have the enthusiasm at times as well, because they should be enthusiastic. They should be proud of what they built, because they're building things that adults can't build.
Right.
I can guarantee you that. I mean, I can't tell you the last time I've used a stick welder. I'm not even want to go down that road. The last time I used a MIG welder was probably where TAP is now. So, I mean, it's just, it's neat. So the powder coating, where did that occur?
Well, so we wrote a grant to get a powder coat oven because let's just face it, when we started, right, and that mechanic show, I mean, it's tough. You know,
Yes.
we teach welding because we teach all the programs, you know, that Tech Center has. So we stay on construction about 15 days. We stay on about welding for 15 days. Well, we're up against a fence because the ag teachers, you know, they teach power and mech, and that's great because our kids are younger and they're going to go into those classes, which is the stair step to making successful students here in our area. But we really needed to up the game, and so powder coating was something that we thought we could add to it. Obviously, it's a life skill that they use in industry, and so Mr. Bay helped us the first year, and
Okay.
that was great. And then we decided that we probably could teach kids that, and so we wrote a grant, got the oven, and so that's why we have a powder coat oven at TAP.
Once I had to throw that in there because I don't think people even fully realize that be able to have those capabilities there as well.
Right.
And it's not just trigonometry when you're talking about things, because Mr. Math Teacher.
Right.
I mean,
Yes.
what other things you throwing into it with that stuff that you know when they're building these projects?
And that's what I tell the students. There's so much math involved with everything that we do. Really, at TAP, I tell them we can give them a math credit, we can give them a physical science credit because we do so much of it. We don't have a textbook sitting in front of them, but it's all figuring our trusses for our chicken coop. I took the boys in the classroom. Got up on the board, Dana walks through, and she just keeps walking because I'm teaching them the trigonometry involved in finding the angles that they need for things to come out right on that. But,
And that's what's cool, because they don't know
so-
what they're using and what they're doing, and it's the real world.
It's very intimidating to the younger students, but when you teach them it in the classroom and then they go out and they cut it and it fits perfect, it becomes real to them.
Yeah.
You know, their eyes open up, and I am going to use this stuff in the real world.
That's cool. And especially because, you know, now that we've gone on this long, to see some of the former TAP students that are now in their ag programs, that are now in, you know, building a little bit bigger projects, that's got to be a proud moment as well.
Oh yeah, it's amazing, and it's very, very cool. You know, they also build a portfolio, and so they've got to make an advertisement, have a construction log, have a bill of sale. So there's really some real life application that, you know, we have sponsors that sponsor our students' projects, and so that's how we're able to afford it, to do it. And so all of the crew, everybody that's at TAP instructor-wise, all of us from Miss Stedman, Mr. Dale, Mr. Rogers, Mr. Sohn, Mr. Haldeman, Miss Persons, myself, we're scrounging around. Who needs something built? You know, we've got to have some funding or some projects for the TAP mechanics projects, and then usually some of us teachers, we just pick up the slack, and surely we need something on the farm. And so that's what happens. And so that
Everybody's
works
got
out.
a little monetary involvement.
But the kids really are proud of their projects, and it's really good. It's good to teach kids to compete. They're going to have to compete in the real world to get a job, and if we expose them to some on their feet thinking, at a younger age, I think it's going to make a better human out of them.
And it's good to fail. It's good to excel. It's good all between as well, because it's a life skill that a lot of people don't have. I talk about TAP all the time. If you're worried about things, come down there and visit any building, any instructor, any program up that they're doing, and you'll walk away going, this is what we need, and we're doing the right thing. Also, the sponsorship on the Ag Mechanics Show, I know the District Livestock Show is one thing, but the Ag Mechanics Show, as well as the businesses that are getting behind this, is amazing. Is also
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I don't want to. I don't know if I can go through the list, but I know there's some major donors here in town, and without their support, it would just not be possible. Mr. Kellen and Miss Abby and all of those at Shattuck have taken the lead on that. The best thing is that we want to grow our own, to put them back to work, and so they can do that, and if they're out there with us. That is also the coolest thing on Saturday. There will be tons and tons of industry and business leaders from here in our community that will be out there just to walk around, interact with the kids. Some of the kids in the past, they're not sure who's the judges and who's not. And I'm like, listen, any adult who talks to you could be your employer. So you need to, you never know when you're going to find your next
because
job.
I know there's been some internships and some summer programs that have come up from this as well. So,
yes, for sure. And without that sponsorship, obviously none of that would happen. Yeah. Those of you in the community, if you want to come out, the projects, obviously Saturday's the Judge Day, and that will be a event just to see within itself. The projects will all be on display Sunday during the Bear Show, Monday during the Gilt Show, Tuesday during the Goat Show, Wednesday during the Sheep Show. Then they will get the projects out. So they'll be on display from this Saturday through next Wednesday.
Okay.
And then we take a short break, play basketball for small town schools in playoffs, and then come back and show cattle on Monday, have the sale on Tuesday. Bank of Western Oklahoma sponsors a steak dinner. We've got some TAP students. Keenan Gaines says it's the best steak in town. You just got to come to the premium sale to eat it. So it's a big thing. Any student that participates and their families are welcome to come. So big shout out to Bank of Western Oklahoma for sponsoring that.
Without a doubt. And you said it earlier, and I want to put an emphasis on this because my daughter ran for state office, so we went to a lot of the district livestock shows across the state of Oklahoma. Folks, it just doesn't compare. We are fully blessed here. My in-laws come here for even pig shows and are blown away by our facilities. Woodward has done something correct in this. I know they get a lot of flack for undue things, but Woodward County it's a big thing for us, and it's going all the way into Beaver County now with things as well.
Right, and there's Beaver County students also coming to participate with. But
this is their first year, so is this good? How are things out there with the?
Well, they're good because they're in ag.
Okay,
so they're FFA students,
okay,
and
right.
so Mr. Dearman, he's got those kids on track, and so they're coming. We have a student from Beaver that's in TAP and in ag as well, and so he'll participate as well. And some of the other students are just going to come watch and learn, and until you see it. Until the instructors see it, I just don't know that you can see it until you see it, because it's just a thing that you need to experience, and then you'll understand what we're talking about in terms of level of competition at the highest.
We can talk about things until we're blue in the face. Until you see it and you put your eyes on it, you don't understand. I'd say that about our campus. I say that about our students. Say that about our programs. Until you see it and witness it, then it makes sense. And kudos to the both of you. So. Parting shots. I don't
know if she mentioned it, but the Ag Mechanics, it involves the building and putting together the project. It involves a portfolio, but it also involves an interview process where they have to answer questions, have to know what's going on. And it's really a team effort between everybody. Me and Mr. Stone do a lot of the hands-on, but Dana and Miss Persons are taking care of portfolio. My wife's coming out later this week to do some interview with them to get them shined up a little bit because
it does matter.
It matters.
And I don't want you and David doing the interviews and the portfolio. So.
No, we'll stay in the shop.
Or especially David. I'll say that. No, I'm just joking.
But it's really the one time that we get to compete.
Yes.
against the state and see what our younger students what
And I
they're
know
made
what
of.
competitors you have over there.
Yes.
yes.
Yes, and and that's just another thing with our district show. Now with Ag Mechanics in it, not only are the animals going to compete, kids running for state office, kids taking their stuff to OYE to compete in the livestock show itself. The Oklahoma Pork Council, Pork Derby, the Skillathon, all those things. When you add in Ag Mechanics, Northwest Oklahoma, when we get to March, we're going to have a great 2 weeks here in Woodward.
That's cool.
And when we get to March, they're going to know we exist out here because we're fixing to make some
Love
noise.
it. Love it. So, all right, everybody have a safe and warm day. Stay warm. We'll see you next week.